Hello everyone, this is Kelly, and these are our September cards. Now, we're going to start with a card that looks very complicated. However, it's pretty simple if we just follow the steps. So this is a cascading card, and I took my card from the inspiration from Rachel Tessman. She showed two variations of it with the Washington Beauty paper, and I've also seen another version of it with from Dawn Griffin, where she's done it in a landscape version. We are going to be doing the portrait version, which is similar to what Rachel Tessman did. So let's get started. We are going to be using the Hello Harvest stamp set. This is in the mini catalog, and this is my mock-up of it. So the card is supposed to stand so it can cascade out. Now I only finished one side of it because I wanted to write on this side. This is how I do my instructions, which is not conducive to anybody else knowing how to do this. So this was me trying to mock it up. So this is what we're going to make today. It has a belly band on it, and we're going to take our belly band off and we will see the card. Okay, the card goes like this, and mine says, loveliest, wishing you the loveliest day. It's a harvest card, and it stands up like this. I think that's the best part about it. Now if I set it down, it's going to collapse on itself, but this is what it would look like from the front without my fingers holding it. It collapses out. But this is how it should look on your mantle, something to that effect. You can put either something here and then put a piece of paper on the back, cardstock in white, to put a sentiment on, and then it is held together with a belly band. And it's pretty fun. I think this is a fun little card. Getting it back into the belly band sometimes is a little bit more challenging than normal, but you know, it does work. I just kind of bow it a little bit to get the belly band on and then do this. I am not going to be doing this here. I probably am going to do some leaves, or maybe I'll just do the hello and be done with it. Try it once with just the hello. I think we'll do just the hello. So in your packet, you're going to have an envelope. You're going to have a lot of stuff. So you have your envelope. You are going to have your base card. Okay, you're going to have your base card, and the base card is where is it? Okay, my base card is 5.5 by 7 inches, scored at 1/2 inch and 1.5 inch on each side. Okay, so I don't know if you can see this, but it is scored here, 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 and here. And then scored from this line out, this line out. It'll make sense in a moment. You have a piece of white, basic white for the inside. You're going to have 2 pieces of designer series paper. We will be using this size. And this is going to be 1 3/4 by 5 1/4. And then the bases that those go on are going to be 2 and 5.5. Okay. Then you are going to have 2 pieces that are going to be 1.5 by 5 1/4. You will also have designer series paper that you'll have to cut in half. I didn't cut it, so it was just so many pieces. I needed to keep some things a little bit flatter. So we will be cutting this in half. We have our mechanisms. We have 2 of them. These are interesting because they are 1.5 by 4.5, scored at 1/2 inches. And then our belly band, which has been scored, and like this one, you can see I was trying to figure out how to get it in there, so it's a little wonky, but this will be my card. I'll keep it as a sample. And then something for our sentiment to go on the front. So we're going to put our belly band aside. We are going to put all of this aside for just a moment and bring out our trimmer. and we are going to cut this piece in half. Literally in half is all we're going to do to it. It should come up to be 1 1/4 by 5 or 4 3/4. So we want it to be 1 1/4. If you were to measure this, it's going to be 2 1/2. So we want it to be 1 1/4. 1 1/4 split in half. Now the only reason why I'm letting you split is so you can see if you want to line up the pumpkins alongside so it looks right. You can turn it. It's not going to make much difference. But I'm a little bit more fussy about it. So that's where I am with that. We are going to do some stamping real quick, and then we'll start some of our assembly. I'm going to put all of these together over on one side. Take my little diagram out of here. And I used what I used in this stamp set is I used this, and I use this leaf. And I use this leaf in a couple of different colors. I use pumpkin spice, Mary Marilou, and also mossy meadow. So we're going to do the same thing today. So let me get out my stamps. Put them on their little blocks. Let's see, does this fit on this one? No. So now we need a big block. Big block. I love how this just all goes together. This one can go on a smaller block. I'm pretty sure it fits across there. There we go. And then the key to this is having my chamois handy so that I can clean it off with everything that I'm going to stamp. So I'll put my chamois over to one side. I will shut this up for right now. That sounds terrible. Okay, and we will stamp this. I will also stamp, I put my belly band stuff to the side. I will stamp my sentiment on here, and I use the hello. So let me get the hello out also. And I think you've noticed that I put everything in at an angle. It's because it's the only way I can make things straight. It sounds funny, but it's an optical illusion, and I'm able to get things straighter that way. So I'm going to put my other card over there, and we are going to start stamping. I am going to find my stamping sheet. You guys will love this. I did stamp off so that it wasn't the strong color. So I'm going to stamp off on here. We are going to start with our pumpkin spice. Actually, let's start with Mary Marilou. That way I can put my sentiment in on my card. So there we go. And again, I have to make things crooked to put them on. So let me see here. This looks like a good spot. Straight up, straight down. Very good. I'll put that aside. And while I'm at it, I am going to do my my Mary Marilou leaves. Stamp off. Put that there. And then I had one up at the top. And it doesn't matter. You don't have to follow what I'm doing. If you want it to be, that's it, full strength. It's up to you. I did do the envelope also with the Mary Marilou, but that is up to you again if you want to do a couple of colors on there. I'm going to probably this time just put a Mary Marilou here. And it's okay if I don't stamp it perfect. Like I said, this is just my envelope, and that can go over there. Let's get out our next color, and we'll chamois this and get it so we can go to our next color. So all we're going to be doing, oh, I didn't do my sentiment. Well, we can come back to that. Maybe, no, we want to do that in Mary Marilou. Let me get that back out. We have enough greens and stuff. I think getting that pop of the Mary Marilou in there is nice. And where did it go? It's hiding. There it is. It's hiding right here in the middle of everything. So again, it just barely fits on here. So we'll see if I can get it to go. That is off. But there is another side. So another side, another opportunity. That looks pretty good. Much better, much better. We'll take that one. I mean, I already know with the O missing on that side, not so good. So we'll put that over to one side. Now we'll put away our Mary Marilou. And we will bring our chamois in. And I keep it in a case with a little bit of water on it. And I can clean things off pretty fast. I'm going to clean off my leaf so it has a moment to dry. Mine's pretty juicy. There we go. And then I'll get this one clean. And then they can sit and dry while we do the rest of the card. Now we'll bring this back to get the mossy metal off of here. And we'll do pops with the I know I juice these up, but sometimes I swear they just don't stay juicy. Oh, I need one more spot. How about right here? There we go. Let's put some on here. Do this one coming in a little bit like this. Someday I'll be more professional with my videos and you guys will go, oh no, she's learning how to do it. And then we'll put the pumpkin pie on there too. I think that's enough. We're going to fill in with the pumpkin pie next. I'm pretty sure I used pumpkin pie. Yep, I did. Okay. Clean our stamp. The nice thing with the chamois is you can, it's going to get dark in the middle. I had one that was jet black, and somehow I lost it in my craft room. It didn't go anywhere else. It's in my craft room still somewhere. It is hiding from me. But they do get stained. You just rinse them out as best you can. And you can see there's moisture and condensation in there. That's perfectly fine because I'm going to need it for to keep cleaning my stamps. So let's see here. I've got my pumpkin pie. And this probably needed a little bit of green over here. That's pretty good. I'm not going to go crazy. That's enough for the center. And I'll just pop one of these on here. There we go. Looks like I meant to do it. Yes, that's messed up, but I'm going to put a label over it. So it's okay. It's okay. Let's close up our inks. Let's clean our stamp real fast. Real fast. There we go. It can sit and dry now for a while. And we'll get to the part where we are assembling. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and I am going to use my bone folder. And I am going to score this like this. And I'm going to score this like this, back and forth, back and forth. Okay. So I don't know if you can see that, but there is a line right there. So here is what we are going to do. We're going to take our snips and we are going to cut on the outside of the fold line to that apex of the first fold. Okay. Then we're going to go from the fold up here down to that point, making like an arch. Okay, so let me show you that again. We are going to come in from the side like this. And we're only going to do it on one side because it's only folded on one side. What we're making is that little cascade. So when the card is together, it's going to look like this. Okay. Now, at this point, we can put this, our sentiment or our designer paper or the paper that we're putting on the inside with our message in the middle. There's my Z. Let me line this up. Okay, so when it pops open, that's what they're going to see right there. Okay, let's put the rest of our bits and bobs together outside of our mechanisms. So let's take our designer series paper that is 5.5 and 5 1/4, and we're going to just adhere these on here like we normally would. So I do the little Z thing or an I thing, and oh, that's funny. I am messy. I am messy today. So I'm going to just try to make it as even as possible. For this back page, the best part is to have something that is non-directional. It makes it easier, so you can just put it either way and it's not a big to-do. So that's why it is the way it is. There we go. There we go. So we have those two panels done. Now we're going to put together these two panels. Now this time we're just putting the non-directional part and then adhering this to our crushed curry. Okay. And again, we'll do the same thing on this one. It's no good if I go out of the camera shot for you. Okay, so now these are our front panels. And see what I mean by now they'll marry up because you cut it in half. This way I made sure that you had a piece of paper that lined up if you wanted it to. If you want to put it on like this, nobody's really going to notice except for you. I would notice, but then I'm not getting the card. So it's okay. It is okay. So I'm going to set those aside. So now what we want to do is we want to adhere this panel onto here. And you want it to line up so that that part creates your actual gate fold. That's what I'm trying to say. So I just go down here and I put adhesive on there. And now I'm just going to, this is non-directional, remember, non-directional. And this is the same length as your card. I'm trying to figure out the best way to do this out of camera shot. And I like to just try to line it up as best I can before it gets to the adhesive. Okay. And I'm going to adhere that down so now I have one fold. See? One fold. Okay, let's do the other side. Now you can use tear and tape in this spot. It's not necessary, but you certainly can. I am all thumbs with tear and tape, so I do better if I'm doing it this way with the actual seal adhesive. Okay, so here we go. It overlaps a little bit, but it's okay. Okay, so now the next thing we want to do is, do you see how this one is laying here? We want this piece to be inside here, okay? And this piece is exactly an inch and is about 1/4 of an inch. If you can see here, it's about 1/4 of an inch or 1/8 of an inch, a little bit more. But this, from this edge to this edge, is about 1/4 of an inch. So we're going to take our two leftover pieces and we are going to accordion fold them. so that they look like a Z when they are done. Accordion fold. And there's no wrong or right way to do this, because you're just going to flip it into the way you need it when you adhere it. So we are going to take one of these and we are going to put it about 1/4 of an inch from the edge here and all the way down to the bottom of our card. Okay, we want to adhere it like that. Okay, so what you want to make sure is that this opens out this way. This opens out this way. It's really important that it opens out and not going the other way. If you put it in like this, then when you go to open up your card, it's not going to go to the direction you need it. So it must always go out. Okay, again, this is can be tear and tape. This can be glue. I am going to use seal. I'm using the seal. And again, it is 1/4 of an inch. And if you have a grid paper, these are 1/4 inch things. So you can literally just line it up on the grid paper and go straight down with it. It will be 1/4 of an inch from the side. And do you see what I did? I put that on upside down. Now it's going to go the wrong way. Luckily for me, if I'm quick enough and gentle enough, I can turn it around. So I'm going to turn it around this time so it opens up the right way. So again, I'm going to look at this grid here. I'm going to go all the way down to the bottom of my paper. I am going to go straight up with it as best I can, and I'm going to adhere. Now my card will open up this way. Okay, and we're going to put the other side on. Again, it doesn't matter which side you put the adhesive on, just so that you put it on the card correctly. And don't do what I just did and do it backwards, because if you're not gentle enough, you will rip your card. And we don't want that. We want you to enjoy this card. It's a cool card when it's all done. It's very cool. So I want this side to open up this way. So I'm going to put my card on here. I'm going to go for the 1/4 inch. I'm going to line it up with the bottom. Okay. I'm lining it up with the bottom, and now it opens this way. So now the fun part is you have to decide which side is which. You can do it this way, but I like my pumpkins to match in the middle. So now we're going to put adhesive along here, and the thing that is so nice about this mechanism that makes it so easy is this. It is exactly the same width as this piece of paper. So you line it up at the bottom, and it should line up all the way up the top. And now it should fold in and be exactly what you need it to be. It's now that little, oh, I'm like, why is it not moving? Because it was already out all the way. There we go. Okay, so let's do the other side. I had to think. Oh my. This is the harder card of the month. I did this one first because I wanted you to see how it went together so you weren't afraid of it. It's really fun when you're done with it. It really is. Okay, this can open up all the way. We're going to marry it up so it matches that little panel we have on the inside. Go like this. And now my card is done. Isn't that fun? And we're going to make our belly band. Okay, we already did our sentiment. We did our sentiment with the hello. Now we're just going to put it on the little paper. Now I would jazz this up a little bit. I think it needs something a little bit more than just this little bit, but it's up to you. It can be as simple as that. And what I do is this. I usually put my band behind. And you don't want it so tight that you can't get into it. That's the key. You don't want it too tight for that. But I also gave you enough paper so you don't have to have it overlapping by 2 inches. So I tend to come out here and snip off about, an inch or so, or that's probably 3/4 of an inch. And I'll do about the same on the other side. I'm going to decide which way I want this to be, which one's on top. There we go. And you see I've got about an inch there. I can go and put on that last inch just a little bit of adhesive. Going to go around my card yet again before I put it down, because again, we do not want it too tight. We want it just tight enough to hold the card together, and we also want it to be straight. So I try to make it as straight as I possibly can, and that's probably a little too loose. I can make it a little bit better. I'm forever lifting up the adhesive. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just add a little bit more on there because I went and lifted it up again. And now the back of my card looks pretty good. Front of my card looks pretty good. It's pretty tight now. And now I can put my sentiment on here. And I put it so it covers up whatever seam I have. It's just me. You can do it however you like. I am not going to pop this up at all. It's not necessary because the card's already pretty thick. But if you like to, you're more than welcome to. I'm just going right down the middle with that. And I'm just putting the hello right in the center. And there it is. There is the card. I hope you enjoyed it. This was fun. It is a very fun card to put together. This is the one we made today. And this is the one that we started with. Thank you for joining me. I hope you had a lovely time. And if you need instructions, please give me a message and I will send them out to you. Thank you so much. Have a good day now. Bye-bye.